Welcome to the newest episode of Beatin' and Bangin'. I'm your host, Kyle Dalton. In today's video, we're going to recap the weekend at Daytona, starting with media availabilities and some interesting comments from Kyle Larson on Max Verstappen's response to his claim of being the top driver, some humorous words from Gibbs reminding us just how young he truly is, and a Kyle Busch in the wild sighting on the streets of Daytona, and how the two-time Cup Series champ unexpectedly surprised one of his fans. Plus, we'll discuss the race, including another car flipping on its lid, a couple of big ones, Harrison Burton's first, and the Wood brothers' 100th Cup Series win, and what it all means to the playoff picture. However, before we discuss the race, I want to announce another Christmas in August winner presented by our sponsor, Pristine Marketplace, and it is Andre Chambers IH1GK. He is the winner of this Brad Keselowski signed 2022 Bristol Dirt diecast, and he did it by going over to Pristine Marketplace and checking out their awesome selection of NASCAR memorabilia, including diecasts like this, helmets, and art. I'm telling you, if you are looking for some cool items to add to your man cave or game room from NASCAR or any other sport, Pristine Marketplace is the place to do it. They have a massive selection of items, and like I said, it's not just NASCAR. If you're a fan of the NFL, MLB, or NBA, both current players and the legends, they're likely to have something for you. I went on a little shopping spree the other day and got several helmets and diecasts, and yes, I plan on giving them away in the coming weeks. But you don't have to wait to see if you'll be a winner. You can be a winner today by heading over to their site, pristinemarketplace.com, and save $10 off of your first purchase. There's a code and link in the description. Please go show them some love and find that perfect item you've wanted to add to your NASCAR collection. Now, for today's first story, let's go back to Friday when the drivers met with reporters at the World Center of Racing. Kyle Larson was asked about the back and forth he's had with Max Verstappen in recent weeks, about who is the world's best race car driver, which led to an intriguing discussion about how this conversation is good for motorsports and especially NASCAR.
No, nothing's come up from it, but it's been fun to read and listen to other people's opinions. You can tell who's fans of which. My fans are standing up pretty hard, and so are his. So, no, I mean it's been a fun little topic, I guess, the last couple weeks.
Do you think too much is made of it, or do you think that it's kind of a good time to joke around? Sometimes you're kind of a humble guy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if too much has been made from it or not. I think some of it has been taken out of context on my end, but it's either way. It's been motorsports around the world and talking. So it's either way, it's good.
Well, he said he would like to consider looking at dirt, things like that. If he practiced it, he might get good at it because he's a racer. How do you think he would do in dirt?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen a Formula One driver try it. I would obviously be excited to see somebody try that. I don't know if he would ever do it or not, but and it's not just dirt. I would love to see more crossover, even to the NASCAR world, because I think a lot of that side of the world doesn't pay attention to what we do and all that. So it'd be nice to just bring eyes to it and see how tough our sport is, because I think we've, although SVG kind of debunked that at Chicago, other than that, I think we've all proven that we're all extremely good at stock cars.
I really love how Larson views this as an opportunity for the international racing community to take notice of NASCAR and the quality of driving it has. That's really taking a 30,000-foot perspective, and in my opinion, it's really good for the sport. I know Chase Elliott is the most popular driver, and deservedly so, but it's things like this by Larson that will garner him more votes, and I think Kevin Harvick's prediction earlier this year that the 2021 Cup champ might supplant the 2020 champ from his stranglehold on the sport's most popular driver award just might come true. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on to our next item, and it's what Gibbs told the media this weekend when asked about his number 54 car, which was sponsored by the Reagan movie and is about the life of the 40th president played by Dennis Quaid, who was at the press conference, albeit a few minutes late. A reporter questioned the 21-year-old driver if he had ever watched any Dennis Quaid movies.
Yes, I have. I watched one on Netflix the other day. I can't remember the name of it, but I watched. I was making sure I was having to do my research on Dennis.
Your homework.
Yeah, but before I met him a couple weeks ago, not at all. I didn't really know too much, and the best part is like I hung out with him for a little bit, and all my friends that watch Dennis movies are like, "You're hanging out with Dennis," and I'm like, "We were just hanging out in the shop talking about some." He's talking about his old cars and stuff like that. I really didn't know. I just feel like I'm just hanging out with Dennis, I guess. No clue.
Dennis Quaid used to host a celebrity golf tournament here in Austin. It wasn't far from my house, so I attended and covered it on multiple occasions. I even interviewed him, took my girls there, and they met Zac Efron. If you know, you know. So hearing Ty barely know anything about Quaid just really makes me laugh. Moving on to our last item before the race, and it comes courtesy of Kyle Busch. The Richard Childress racing driver was rolling through the streets of Daytona over the weekend when he rolled up on a truck driven by a number 8 fan. Take a look at what happened.
We're drafting. It's in Daytona. No better place than to get tucked up tight. He doesn't like the outside lane. He's moving left. Yeah, boy!
Now, I know Busch may have a lot of fans that don't like him for a variety of reasons, but his loyal fans can't help but appreciate him, especially when he does things like this. Speaking of Busch, I think NASCAR officials showed they have a sense of humor during the truck ride-arounds and pre-race ceremonies when they paired him with Brad Keselowski, just 5 days after Rowdy called out the RFK Racing driver co-owner for his move on that last lap restart at Michigan. Seeing them ride together and not even really glancing in the other's direction just made me smile. Several moments later, during the national anthem, they showed Richard Petty without a hat. And I really couldn't ever recall ever seeing him without his hat on. He's got a head full of hair. He even looks cool without the hat. Moving on to the race, and there were a couple of things evident early on in that first stage, starting with the voice of Lee Diffie. He brought an excitement to the broadcast that just wasn't there before. It was obvious that his addition was welcomed by the garage, with several drivers going out of their way during interviews to mention him. The other thing I noticed was when Diffie stopped talking and they went to a commercial break, I never missed a green flag lap. This was the first of 3 NBC broadcasts carrying all green flag laps by showing side-by-side commercials. It's exactly how I dreamed it. I didn't want to leave the room because I thought I might miss something. I loved it, and I look forward to it later at Atlanta and Talladega. Way to go, NBC. In that short first stage of 35 laps, there was a lot of jockeying going on early with 3-wide action up and down the field. Halfway through, Logano held the lead, but it was another Ford, Josh Berry, who won the stage, followed by another blue oval driven by Chris Buescher, who picked up some valuable points. The stage break brought some unanticipated excitement when Daniel Suarez's car surprisingly caught on fire. Take a listen to what Ty Gibbs had to say about it over his radio.
Wow, that thing is on fire. Yeah, that's odd.
After the Fords dominated that first stage, Bubba Wallace announced his presence in stage 2 and moved forward and out to the point. Interestingly, for those early laps, the number 23 car was the lone Toyota inside the top 20. That second stage also brought us our first of 2 big ones on the night, when Corey LaJoie started a massive accident that involved 18 cars, including all 4 at HMS, as well as Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain, and Martin Truex Jr. On the restart, with a reshuffle of cars, Shane Van Gisbergen, just hours after announcing that he will be running full-time Cup racing in 2025, ran inside the top 10, and then, just like that, any hopes of a good run went up in a puff. I'm sorry, massive cloud of smoke. Check that out. Joey Logano won the second stage, and as we headed to that third stage, you could just feel the pressure intensifying with so much riding on the line. And when you looked at that top 10, you knew a new driver winning was definitely a possibility. It was a precursor of things to come. As the laps dwindled, everyone was focusing on that final pit stop where it was going to be fuel stops only. It came when John Hunter Nemechek went for a spin and brought out a caution with 19 laps to go. The number 8 of Kyle Busch was running in the front, going to pit road, but came out 4th after crew chief Randall Burnett made a call that he would later apologize for. Take a listen to the number 8 team radio.
Fuel early, going on me, going on me, going on me. Go, 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 one lane. Good job there, Randy. Yeah, not a great job, but Probably gave him too much fuel there. He's been wheeling it all night. We'll be fine. Everything you can. I probably went a little long on the stopwatch there to make sure we had a little bit. So sorry about that.
On the restart, Austin Cindric was the control car. Brad Keselowski lined up on his inside and appeared to get a jump on the number 2. NASCAR reviewed it and penalized the number 6 pilot, who was understandably unhappy about it.
Trying to give us a restart violation. I definitely went after him. He got hit by the 5 and spun the tires. Yep, they're gonna, hopefully they look at that. We gotta come do a pass-through here, Brad. We gotta do a pass-through. They not see he got hit from behind and spun his tires? I mean, shit, I can see it from my seat. Yep, they don't care.
Keselowski made a pass-through and dropped to the rear. His spotter, TJ Majors, encouraged his driver, telling him there was going to be another caution before the end of the race. He was right. We had our second big one of the night with 9 laps remaining when Austin Cindric got into the rear of leader Michael McDowell, who got sideways, went to the left, and then went for a harrowing ride off the bumper of Joey Logano. There were 14 cars involved in this one. Kyle Busch was not one of them and narrowly avoided it. Here's what he had to say about it right after it happened.
Wrecking in front here. Stay middle, stay up, 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 up. Stay against the wall, stay in it. Stay against the wall. Stay up against the wall, keep coming, keep coming. Caution. Fuck yeah, nice job. Save me all the fuel you can there, pal. Save me all the fuel you can. Ain't nobody left. Woo, that was badass, dude. Nice work. It's fucking stupid.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the last scary crash of the night. The final one came with 2 laps to go when Austin Cindric got into the left rear of Josh Berry, who got sideways and in a fashion eerily similar to Corey LaJoie a week earlier at Michigan, lifted up into the air and turned over onto its roof. The number 4 car slid down the backstretch before a hard hit into the infield wall, which sent it spinning. Here are the tense moments on the team radio of Josh Berry.
You all right? Got me, Josh. He said he's okay. Don't release them belts so they get to you because you'll hit your head. Incredible job all day. Incredible job. Incredible race car. Everybody did an amazing job. Just be careful getting out of there.
Thankfully, like last week, Berry was evaluated and released from the infield care center without injury, which set us up for an overtime green-white checkered. And when looking at the drivers inside the top 10, all I could think was, there's absolutely no way this race ends with anything but a first-time winner. And I was thinking, not only could it be a first-time winner in 2024, but a first-time winner in their career. Turns out, I was right, as Harrison Burton, who was told before the restart that he was going to need to be aggressive and do whatever it took to win the race, did just that, getting a massive push from Parker Reslov, surging out to the lead, and making a big block on Kyle Busch to hold on for his first Cup win and, more significantly, the 100th win in Wood Brothers history. Burton was understandably emotional after winning the race. Take a listen to that and what his dad had to say to him over the team radio.
I can't fucking believe it. Thank you guys so much. You did it, man. Great job. Thank you guys, man. It's been a fucking hard 3 years, but we got 100, baby! Yeah, boy! Come on! Harrison is... Dad, what's up? Yo! That was awesome. Holy shit. Let's go. Congratulations, bud. Thank you. Thanks for everything. Woo!
It was really a cool moment for the 24-year-old and his father. You gotta love that for the Burtons and the Woods. Burton's win and the automatic berth in the playoffs threw the postseason picture into further chaos. And Bubba Wallace, who was involved in that last crash where McDowell got airborne, rebounded to finish 6th. But he couldn't hide his emotion he was feeling. Realizing his chances of making the playoffs took a major hit.
You got one car fighting for a regular season championship and another car right around the bubble. It's unacceptable. So I'll take all that weight on my shoulders. Should have won multiple times this year and I haven't. So we don't deserve to be here, and we are. So I got to go win next week. That's it.
And this is what he said to SiriusXM NASCAR radio a bit later.
All I can think about is our team shouldn't be in this spot. We should have been well locked in. We should have won multiple races, and we haven't. So I feel like I've let the team down. So it's a must-win situation next week.
How do you feel about getting the points? I mean, at least you're salvaging a decent points day.
It don't make a shit.
That was Bubba Wallace.
What's the old saying? The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. We saw both of those on Saturday night in Daytona. And that's why we love this sport. All right, guys, that's a wrap on this episode. I want to hear what you thought about it. First, let me know what you thought about what Kyle Larson said in his media availability on all the talk regarding him and Max Verstappen. How do you feel about Larson trying to get the international racing community to give NASCAR its props? And for you Kyle Busch fans out there, I want to know what you thought about his move on the Daytona streets with that unsuspecting fan, and if you've ever had a similar experience. As for the race, first thing, what did you think about the addition of Lee Diffie to NBC's broadcast booth? Did you like him? And what about the overall race? Did you like all that passing and the major changes to the field with not one, but two big ones? And what about Josh Berry flipping onto his lid? The second time it's happened in a couple of weeks. I know it's not a good look for cars to do that, but you have to say the integrity of the cars themselves and the drivers walking away uninjured speaks volumes. Kudos to NASCAR for the safety advancements with this car. And finally, what are your thoughts on Burton earning his first Cup win? Does this help increase his stock and improve his opportunity for landing a ride in 2025? And for you longtime Wood Brothers fans, what does this 100th win mean to you? Again, I want to congratulate Andre Chambers-IH1GK for being our latest Christmas and August winner from Pristine Marketplace, winning this. And I want to remind you that you can save $10 off your first purchase at Pristine by clicking on the link in the description and using the promo code BB10. Thanks again to Pristine Marketplace for sponsoring this video. And thanks again, as always, to you for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it and hope you have a great rest of your day.